was a little bit of a dispute with the customer. There's no hard feelings from me. I said, if you want to have a little shop around and get some more quotes, please feel free to do so. It's no skin off my nose. Now, what I actually charged for that today was Howdy gang, welcome back to Hangout with Deggers for another episode of HOWD grass cutting. And in this episode, I am actually going to be grass cutting again. So yeah, I've got 2 lawns to cut today, and I thought I'd take you around this first one. I've got a couple of questions, again, mainly for the gardeners this time. I'd like to know like what you guys would charge for this, but also from a customer point of view. Again, you can let me know like what you'd expect to pay. Access isn't great. There's quite a big hill. There's a couple of patches out the front as well. Again, not flat. On a hill, yeah, slanting down both sides. So it's quite an awkward lawn to cut. So I would be interested as to see like where I'm at with the price point. What I'll do, I'll take you around first. I'll show you the access points. I'll take you right round the lawn and the 2 at the front as well. And then we'll crack on with it. And then what I'll probably do halfway through the video, 3/4 of the way through the video, I'll get you to pause, comment what you'd charge or what you'd expect to pay. And then at the end, I will reveal what I charge for this. I have no idea really whether I've got the price right, so it'd be interesting to see like your views. Right then, we better crack on. So out the front we've got this here, and then we've got this little bit here as well, just that there. But as you can see, it's on a slope. Now I have to get my mower up these steps. Up this little bit of an alleyway, and then there's some more steps. And then that's the garden. You can see the slope. So we've got a little flat bit here, then there's a slope, more slope there, and then even the top bit, it's on a little bit of a slant. It's not exactly flat. There's rocks in the middle as well. So yeah, it's not an easy one. They like to leave that bit wild, so I literally just strim round there. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite steep, so it's just a bit of an awkward one really. So let's get it done. So it's currently 5 to 10 AM. Obviously, I don't know why I had to add the AM there. Let's see how long it takes me as well. So as you saw there, guys, even just that little bit at the bottom there, that's awkward. And now I've got this, the hard bit, and what I've found with this is, if I do it from here and go down, that's the flattest I'm able to get it. Now, I did have to mess about with the height cut there because the customer asked me to take it down a notch on the lawnmower, and I did say that the problem is with a rotary mower, because I think like they're in their 80s and they've always used a fly mower. Fair play to him, man. I hope I'm that good when I'm in my 80s, if I make it that far. But the problem is with these petrol rotary mowers, any uneven ground, you're going to get that. So I tried my best, but on bits there, you can see like the grass is very mossy, and it sort of scarred the top of the grass, which, you know, I did say, but this is what you're dealing with, isn't it? But yeah, let's crack on with this next bit, and yeah, you'll see like just what I'm contending with. It's not easy at all. This is graft. Okay. Whew. That is hard work, I'm telling you. So that's the hard bit out of the way now. Now, there are just little bits. I will go over it with the strimmer, but that is tough. So this bit here is probably the easiest, and even this isn't flat, and there's rocks in the middle of it. So it is a tough one. So just consider that when you put your price in the comments. Don't do it just yet. We'll get this done, and then when we head out the front, we'll do it then. Right, let's crack on. There we go. That's job done. The thing is with a job like this, it is a little bit demoralising, because like it's not like when you've just got like a rectangle or a square lawn that's nice and flat and you can really make it look nice and neat and tidy. Like, don't get me wrong, it still looks better when it's been mowed, but it's just really awkward, you know, it's uneven, so you can never get it really looking proper smart, you know, which is what I like. You know, you got things like this, and it's, yeah, so it's never going to look the best lawn, and it's really mossy, but you know, we've done our best. So all I'm going to do now, guys, is just go round with the strimmer, just do the odd little bits and bobs like this, round the little slabs and that up there, a little bit more here, then round with my blower, and then we'll head out the front. So it's at this point I'll ask you now, pause the video. How much would you be charging for this? If you were a gardener and you came and quoted this, how much would you charge for it? And also, if you were a customer, if you're like a customer watching this now, let me know what you'd expect to pay. And then at the end of the video, when I'm done, I'll let you guys know. Nearly. Sweet gang, another job well done then. So all told, I was probably there in total around about an hour and 15, an hour and 20, because if I remember rightly, I gave you the time when I was just about to start the job, didn't I? So I'd already got the kit out of the car and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just say an hour and 15 minutes, okay? I was there actually a little bit longer than that because there was a little bit of a dispute with the customer, which I'll tell you about in a second. But first of all, the price. So you should have already commented your price. I asked you to pause the video and put it in the comments. From a gardener's perspective, what would you have charged? And from a customer's perspective, what would you have charged? Now, what I actually charged for that today was £50. I think that that's a fair price, considering, you know, the access is very, very poor. You got that massive hill in the middle of the lawn. It's really mossy. It's just not a nice lawn to cut, as you saw. You know, added to that, you know, the last time he said, next time you come, can you just go a little bit lower on the cutting? And I tried, but in points it was like sort of catching the top of the, you know, it's just, yeah, horrible lawn to cut. All you can do is your best, and try to do what the customer asks, and that's what I always try to do. Okay, but I think that's a fair price. I think 50 quid is a fair price. Some of you might think that's a little bit on the steep side, but listen, I'm the one doing the job. I'm using my kit. That job as well is a little bit further out than what I'd ideally like to go. You know, it's the other side of Rugeley, and I'm in Cannock. So with all that considered, for me, £50 is a fair price. I think it is. You know, maybe someone that lives a little bit closer, you know, would charge 40. Fair enough. You know, but I think between 40 and 60 for that is fair. So 50 for me. That, if they want me to continue doing it, I'm doing it for £50. If they want to look for someone else and try and get someone cheaper, then by all means do that. And that's basically what the dispute was. So I was finishing up, and the lady came out and she said, can I have your bank details then so I can transfer you the money? And she says, we're going out in a minute. Is it okay, like, for us to leave? Will you be able to carry on? And I said, well, yeah, I'm nearly done anyway. And she looked at me and she says, well, you've only been here an hour. I think it was just over an hour at that point. And I said, yeah. And she says, oh, well, I thought you would have been staying 2 hours. And I said, no. I said, I do a written quote for everybody, and I send it in a text or an email. And I said, you agreed in the quote that I would be coming, and the charge of £50 was to trim and mow your lawns and just tidy up the edges, etc. And she went, oh yeah, but I thought that you'd go like round the borders and like get some of the weeds out and such and such. And I was like, no. I was like, the price is to do the lawn mowing. I said, if you want me to do anything extra, like cutting your hedges, weeding, going round all your borders and stuff, that's extra, like after the lawn mowing. Oh, right. Oh. And she said, there's been a misunderstanding then. And I said, well, if you read your quote again, I said, it's quite clear exactly like what I'm charging you for. And obviously, she got a little bit funny, and I just, basically, this is what I said. And I think it's I think I got the message across, put it that way. So what I said is like, look, at the end of the day, I'm charging you for the job, not per hour. I said, if a plumber came to your house to fix your boiler, and he gives you a price to fix the boiler, would you rather him just get the job done, or do you want him to stay in your house all day? Because it's the same thing. I said, you're paying for me to come and cut a lawn that is just hell to cut because you don't want to do it any longer. I said, and if you pay a plumber to come, you're paying them for their expertise and their time and the use of their tools to do a job. I said, like, this is no different. I said, you wouldn't want a plumber to be staying in your house longer than he needed to be there. And I think it sort of clicked. The husband wasn't really saying anything because I'd had a long conversation with him on my first visit, and I think he sort of understands, but she's just trying to get a little bit more out of me. But it's like I said to her, look, I've got another job to go to now. I can't stay any longer today anyway, even if you wanted me to stay and you wanted to pay me. And she just says, well, I can't pay you, I can't afford it. And it's like, I know that's not true as well, because when we first went, they were talking about like they're always away on holiday, etc. and stuff. So, you're going to get this sometimes with people and customers, and I think that's why it's really, really important that I always send that written quote, and it's clear in the quote, exactly what you're going to be doing with the job. But guys, you let me know what you think. Do you think that's a fair price? Some people might disagree, like I've said. Some people might think that that's a little bit expensive. But at the end of the day, I'm the one doing it. I'm the one that's putting the graft in. I'm the one using my tools, my fuel to get there. If that's what I want to charge, then that's what I want to charge. Really, I suppose there is no right and wrong. I always do the best job that I possibly can in the quickest time possible, because at the end of the day, time is money. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Obviously, where that relationship is concerned, from me, there's no hard feelings. I just said to him before I left, I said, like, look, I totally understand where you're coming from. Everybody wants, to pay a little bit less where they can and cut back where they can. I said, I get it. There's no hard feelings from me. I said, if you want to have a little shop around and get some more quotes, please feel free to do so. It's no skin off my nose. I'll just find another customer like closer to home. And that's, you know, I don't think that you can be any fairer than that. Like, for me, it's not about arguing with people and falling out with people. You know, they've got their opinion, and that's up to them. But if I'm doing the job, then I'm going to dictate what I'm going to charge for it. And it's as simple as that. There is no right and wrong, really. And I certainly don't want to be doing it for much cheaper than that, that's for sure. So yeah, anyway, I've rambled on long enough, guys. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. All the best, and ta-ra for a bit.